That's always a happen.
That means we're halfway good, right?
Yeah, so. We will worry about it with the terms. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times it's gonna be lie, and it's half of us will be busy, anything else. Yeah, you'll be. I don't mind that. We can do all that too. The trouble is we do kind of need to say yes or no to the opposite here. And I would tell her like, okay, face. Yeah, state that.
I don't put that. $100. Right. At a minimum, I have.
It's so. You guys all collectively make a decision here.
So much fun, I know how much fun. Definitely.
100 miles an hour. We'll do one. Bombs up. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Main part of the house. My personal favorite, I would do whatever.
You're kind of a brainer for dessert.
Dessert, yes, but the.
Tribal.
And.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lucky to find that, and then she did the remodel you guys moved in. Home of the house of the appointed. It's 3.5 years ago. Well, I think we got.
Yes.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
I'll do the pledge and four-way from here.
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Copy.
I know you and your head.
I know you're now. Right. You can give me right there. Exactly. On that, right? I'm kind of one of those weird guys. James, can you hear me?
Yes, I said I'd do the pledge and four-way from here.
Oh, all right. Thank you, my lovely. Eileen, I brought you a.
Oh.
I know. Oh, shut up. I know. Oh, I'm so excited. I went to lunch at Terry yesterday. I go, here's that Springer chair. Sorry. What do I, that's okay.
I think that's a good idea.
What company is that? Thirty-two. Is that okay?
Succession planning, thank you.
I'm really not worried. Oh, no, you are, but
I'm weird. I'm weird that way.
I know.
Make sure
I
that.
hate you like this. No one dead. Yeah. He doesn't either. That's
I asked you.
Do you have change?
Yeah, well, there's that.
Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? Let me change the story. Oh, there you go. This back. Oh.
Well, how are you?
Yeah.
I know about the website.
Yes.
I had most of the stuff. So go in. Anything that.
Yeah. I think it's like saying.
Okay. Sir.
Oh, that's fine.
My dad is paid. I know, I love you. You're cute.
This was a good thing to start meeting too. Okay. Fun sound. All right, I guess this is on my sheet says call to order. You guys are already there, so. All right, James.
Oh, you want to stand for the pledge of allegiance?
Yes, we'll have to go change picture play.
Good morning, everybody. If you'll stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. All right, and if you'll join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, second, third,
Better friend. Wow.
fourth, and fifth.
Is it five?
There we go, Mr. President.
Okay. Inspirational comment?
Quote. The most important trip you may ever take in life is meeting people halfway.
That's
I don't make the rules.
You know, it's a good one we can all aspire to. I don't know how well we all do it, actually, to be honest with you. That's well me anyway. And then our speakers today are gonna be Gary and Raquel. Gary claims he has 83 minutes, but nobody's gonna stick around for that. So, birthdays. Got Ron coming up on September 14th. And Ross' birthday is Michael Toby, Johanna's husband, on the 19th. And anniversaries, club anniversaries, you have Kendra Pinkelman. And that's at September 19th also.
Woo,
A
yeah.
lot happening on September 19th. Yeah. So also, so what we're talking about is sponsors for not Corks and Kegs anymore, but.
Rotary auction.
What's the name of it?
It's,
I can use notes.
Never mind, none of us can remember. So
I know, they are.
It's okay, we can't remember, so yeah.
Together.
So what we're gonna do is, if you brought if you bring in a sponsor, we're gonna do a drawing for a gift card. So if you have, or when you do, write your name on the back of it, put it in here, and we're gonna draw for a gift card for the winner who brings, sponsors. And honestly, guys, this is like a big deal. We were looking at that the other night on, during the board meeting. We really need to get sponsors. So if any of you know anyone and you're not comfortable maybe going and talking to them, let me know and I'll be happy to go talk to them. But we need to focus on trying to get some sponsors in. The reports. Treasurer's report, when you're done. We had to have Bill come in late, so some of these wins they do fine. Fall. You're gonna get fined at that.
I'm trying to increase the treasury right now.
You can send in a check and just they'll have yours ready every week, you know. Send one check for the year, you can have it all ready.
Hi, everyone, here. So, as Brian said, we do need to get the sponsorship money going. We did an estimate of what our cost to do our event is about $12,000 once we pay for the venue, the food, the auctioneer, whatever else, I can't remember. But, and we have about 9,000 in our checking account right now. So as Brian was saying, we're trying to do a little, thank you for people who have brought in sponsorship. So if you have brought in a sponsorship, there's a little ticket there, you write your name on it, put it in the cute little jug. And then we're going to do a drawing for $100 gift certificate as a thank you. So if you've already brought in a sponsorship, please be sure to do that.
When's that drawing going to take place?
I arbitrarily decided the last meeting before the event.
Gary, Secretary's report.
Okay, we had a board meeting on, past Wednesday, the next one's gonna be on October 9th. And, we have two new board members. One is standing up counting all of the tickets he bought, Paul Adams.
I'm not a new board member, am I?
No, you're a new member.
Yeah, we'll automatically make it a board.
Yeah. And the other one is Kara Turner sitting next to John. And just to note, since July 1, that means we've added 4 new members. We have Tashley, who's up on the screen. Her name is on the screen. And then we have Dr. Mary Templeton, who was a team over. So that's good progress starting out. Yep. That is it. Except that, just to let you all know, Brian is the new Guido when it comes to sponsorships. Guido is the type, the Jewish type, or not the Jewish type, the other type.
Which I don't think is politically correct
Yeah,
at all.
that's
wrong.
yeah, he's the strong.
I'm just saying. I mean, honestly,
You acknowledge it.
yeah. Far from it, I'm Irish, I'm Dutch Irish, I mean, that's a little stretch, but okay. President-elect me, I've got nothing. I'm doing nothing except this. So, club services, Eileen?
Yes, sir. So we sent out a bunch of cards to folks this last week. Hopefully they got them. Fingers crossed. Make sure you post out. And if you know of anybody who needs to pick me up, a birthday card, a get well card, please reach out to me. Let's get those done properly and promptly. And we're just working towards the auction. And Bob, I know you're kind of a reserved guy and you like to keep things under the hat, and I respect that, but I just want you to know. What the hell? Yeah, that not only did Bob secure Lila Ford, he also compensated her for being at our auction. So I just want you to know, we really appreciate that support in making our event a little bit bigger and more usually kind of defend. So thank you. Yeah. And I hope you don't mind. And so we're just moving forward. I've been working on the auction site. I'm hoping to get it done this weekend. I'm sorry, it's a busy week for me. And we do have an event tonight, so, and save the dates are coming. I haven't forgotten. I know Rand has been busy, and we don't have a logo yet, so I'm just gonna make it happen this weekend. So thank you for your patience, and that is all I have. Oh, and did everybody get the email that I sent out about the obligation of $75 or more value item? You can start to turn those in ASAP, or at least turn in your sheet. I will send those sheets out this weekend. You don't just bring them the night of, that way you don't have to worry about people storing them, but send me the sheet. The sooner you send me the sheet, the sooner I can get them there then. The sooner we know what we have. And, John Steinberg has been gracious enough to donate. Jim, I'm sorry, it's been a long week. My apologies, Jim.
Sorry, I've been called a lot worse.
I'm fine. He has put now, space again for our live auction. So we have 4, so we only need a couple more for the event. So, yes,
Vacation International responded to my letter and that they're gonna be donating a stay at a timeshare condo.
do we know where it's at yet?
Not yet, but.
Oh, that's wonderful.
908 upfield box.
Yes,
Yes,
I don't know until we get the certificate, they should, they'll nail it there.
that's awesome. Thank you so much. So then we only need a couple more and then,
I'm gonna send you an email to contact the Secret Show Winery, so I made that connection.
okay, are they donating?
I don't think they're donating or discount, I'm not sure.
Okay, because we don't have the budget to buy them.
They just said that they'll help, so.
Okay,
it's up to
all right.
you.
All right,
That's
that's
what I
great.
got.
I can
It was hard to get them.
Well,
They
thank
got
you.
bought out by some venture capital.
Thank you so much. And then Ron and Lance are gonna work out the beer together, get the beer donated. And so we don't have, like, we have, oh, I do need somebody to do bar. Amy has stepped down, for personal reasons, so I just need, I'm already doing so much. I can't have it all. No, she's already, I know. Well, maybe Paul. Maybe Paul would like to
specialty drink part.
Is it just one beer?
She's pouring beer.
Is it on Monday night?
Well, if it's for Kelsey, gonna be drinking.
November.
I got it on the calendar already, so.
We said bar?
Much
Yeah,
less.
I mean, I don't
I'm not
know
how far
about
it's gonna
the
go.
drink stuff.
No, it's just beer and wine. We're like, really.
How big will the event be?
Our biggest we can get it. Or, yeah.
I think I'll put the wine for the beer.
That would be great.
yeah.
Then you guys will work.
I have
Well, now that we're members, aren't we supposed to do stuff? So.
I'm like, I'm gonna dig.
We just kept the date this month out.
So, oh, and the board also agreed to buy, the big screen TV again, so we'll use it that night and then we'll auction it off. So really, we only need like maybe one more large item for the silent auction because I'm working with our auctioneer and she's gonna secure a mystery item. We're still working on what that's gonna be. So, we have the cocktail party for 12 at, Raquel's house. And we can do that in a separate, you don't have to do that. Like, I did that one or 12. The progressive boat dinner. We have the big screen TV. We're gonna do a fancy dessert. Now we're gonna start off with one fancy dessert. And then, your condo, Debbie, let's canal. So we're looking good for live auction. So we maybe need one more, and then so maybe one more item. Well, would you like to do that one? Welcome to the club. You, yes, that would be that. Something good. Yeah, oh, yeah. And yeah, so that's all I have. Sorry, for the little chatting today and tired.
I do have a report too on that, on the cruise. I've reached out to everybody around the lake. Now,
No problem.
I did put her down because. But we have, I believe, 100% involvement already. Jim and Bob, if you were here, but everybody else, Chris Smith, Amy, Chris Jacobson,
Sam Welch,
Jim.
Sam Welch.
Samuel, basically everybody on the list is volunteers. So, we'll need to probably get everybody's heads together about whether we're going to offer two, but quite frankly, we've got enough where we could do two. And nobody will have to do it twice.
Definitely, and we just need to know before the event, so Michelle knows what's going on. But I will say, even on the 23rd, when it was pissing rain, and we ended up over at Don Lee's house, it was great, it was so, and you're right. You get a chance, if they do dinner, she's an amazing cook. And I don't mean like, oh, this is good, I mean, holy crap, you should open up your restaurant.
There before October.
So it was really fun.
I wanted to know why you did way a lot.
Yeah, I did, oh, yeah, I was like, I'm like, how come mom is at 500 kilos? Because seriously, she is so, she's such a good. So if you haven't been on it, then on it. And we didn't go out on the boat, we just went to their house. That was fun.
And
Anyway,
the progressive came to the house.
I know, but it was wonderful, and it was a great way to fellowship, so. Thank you, I'm sorry, President
apologize.
Pro Tem, I'm chatting.
No, that's fine. Foundation, Bob,
I got nothing.
got nothing. All right. Makes it quick, right?
Just said all is good.
Oh, it's all good.
All right. Membership, Raquel, Chatty.
We have new members, and there's more to come. I feel like we're kind of turning a new leaf about like our membership and, you know, kind of growing and bringing some more new, you know, energy into our group. And I think we're on a precipice of, you know, growth.
I think it'd be great to figure out how to get those that aren't coming. So,
Coming again, yeah.
that'd be really cool.
How to get what?
Get the people that aren't coming to anything
Um,
to come.
You should mention the idea that you have that I think is brilliant about when you do have new members to kind of have.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
period of- And have more than just me or
Yeah.
even Kyle, have like a little like
Well,
group of us
right.
that are like, let's bring you into our fold. Let's show you how we do things or why we do things and yada, yada.
The secret handshake.
Yeah, the secret handshakes and,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I mean,
It always,
if normally, Gary, don't we normally, when there's a new member, you have a sponsor? I mean, I feel like we're in AA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the sponsor could theoretically be that person, right? That
Right.
invites them for coffee or something and says, hey, because this would have been nice to explain to me,
Well,
when you say bring a basket.
Don's gonna invite you down to Arizona to have coffee.
I mean, whatever it looks like, I mean,
Yeah.
by no means do I know anything, except that whenever I came, was coming in the Corks and Kegs, and they're like, bring a basket, 2 bottles of beer, 2 bottles of wine. So I literally put 2 bottles of beer, 2 bottles of wine in a basket. And I was thinking they're gonna auction off, so I did, originally, I actually put like Mad Dog, Boone's Farm, because I'm like, this is gonna be like an 80s basket, your high school basket, right?
Yeah.
However, then I found out I also then don't get a basket, I get an item. So,
so there's things that are confusing that you need to, you know,
Mhm.
just because people who've been in for a long time already know the drill.
right.
And so when new people come in, you know, we kind of take for granted that they now know the drill when we go.
Yeah.
Well, it
I'm
really-
still frankly trying to figure it out.
It really gets back to the fact that we need an orientation session. We haven't had one in a long time. Jim, you're probably the last one to put one on. It's been a long time, so I think we're overdue, and one of the thoughts is just to have one of our meetings where we don't have a speaker, just have it as an orientation session. And
So
go from there.
that would be good, but would it be more personable to have one person or two people kind of take them
You do both.
to coffee?
You do
Okay, so,
both.
so you're doing orientation as a group, but then you're, okay,
And,
well, I mean,
yeah.
whatever,
And an orientation, a reorientation is great for everybody.
be great for me.
At least so this year you did it, we're going to coffee after this, that yesterday.
But it's only you two, it's not, you didn't invite the whole group, so.
When,
It's not legacy, after the.
I can do that. No, it's last minute, so I don't feel really. All right. Wait, I'm supposed to turn this way. Kristen? Are you there? Then I gotta see you for Mike. She's not there anymore. I thought she was there. Okay, so next, Kendra's also not here. Okay.
She was there, it wasn't.
I thought so, and Brand is not here. All right, so start it off. Brand over.
Hello.
Hello.
Everybody have their raffle tickets? Everybody gets a number. Think we'll have our Secretary of State audit this and pick out. Gotta be red. Gotta be red.
Probably a dead person.
Dang.
Maybe the last two numbers, nice and loud.
Gotta read.
You gotta read.
You gotta get your
Oh,
vote.
there you go. Yeah.
I don't know.
The old reader will do.
Yeah.
181.
Oh, cool.
That was an early person.
It's gonna be Paul, since nobody else has said anything.
I'm very close. I had that.
I have an 82. Oh, but here's the election. You got it.
You right?
I didn't read that. It might take a while. You do it later first. 181. Who's got 181? You. You all still looking. Oh, yeah. How many did you not take? Yes, I'm gonna put an order this time. There's gonna be one rep, so I. All right. Well, that's only half the ballot. Now you gotta pick the yellow dot with the W on it.
Then you're a winner.
Nope. There is a consolation prize. Keep it in the pot. There you go. There you go. Put the pot back in.
Oh, for that fix, yeah.
Keep in the pot. Well, you can turn it in, when we get to resolution. Yeah, you want to see this? I am an audience. All right, besides me, again, because I left it at the house, badge, no badge?
No bad.
Yeah, I just got it.
You can use the sticker, come on, did you, I mean.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, really. All right. You don't have yours yet? Yeah, yours. All right. And we have to find the folks online? Yes, no? All right, who's happy? Are you happy,
Oh, yeah, so
Mr. President nominee?
I'm having my son fly in tomorrow.
Into what?
Flying in from Virginia Beach, right? So, to surprise my younger son, so, for his birthday. So,
Awesome.
surprise, he's gonna go get my brother-in-law's Harley, drive it over to his house and put a bow on it. Because my son's fiance forbids him to get a street bike. So he's gonna say, look what we got you, just to piss off the fiance. I didn't say it was a good idea, but it's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
A good way to welcome her to the family.
Hey, you know what? Just gotta get ready.
All right. All right, let's get our folks online here. Tracy, are you happy today?
I am happy and I'm bummed I'm not there. I do have to give a couple, well, they're happy dollars. I'm going to miss the next couple of weeks because Dave and I are going to be in Switzerland and end up in Rome. So we come back October 3rd and I'm really excited. We're going to stay with some friends that we met several years ago over there with Nancy Johnson. So it's going to be a great trip.
All right. Fun.
One more thing, it's just if anybody, if you think about Joyce, you know, give her a call. She's still not feeling well. Jim and Kirsten dropped off some fresh crab for her yesterday, so they were able to chat for a bit. She's off hospice because she still is wanting a treatment and she wants to see her doctor, and so she's very stubborn. Anyway, if you think about her, give her a phone call. So thanks, that's all. And welcome to the new members. Looking forward to getting to know y'all.
All right. Dan.
Morning, everybody. I'm happy today because my wife and I are planning a trip to Cortana, Italy. And right now in September is when they're preparing all the wine. It's famous for wine over there. So it's going to be kind of cool to maybe go on a tour and see how that all works. Old school style.
Nice. All right, and Tashley. No, Tashley, we'll come back to you. Gina?
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy today because we had an amazing start to the school year. We have about 10,000 kids who have spaces in classrooms and are happy to be back. And it's just been an awesome start to the school year. I'm home today because hopefully the carpet installer will come. Remember, we're working our way out of the flood that we had in our house. And so hopefully I'll get carpet today.
All right, well, good deal. We just don't have room on the buses for them, but we'll get them there somehow, so. All right, Tashley, are you ready? Nope, we'll come back to you. All right, let's do some more happy bucks here. Mr. Steinrich.
Some happy dollars I missed last Friday because I decided to sit and have coffee with my wife. Last Friday, we had celebrated our 49th wedding anniversary.
Awesome. Okay, seems just like that, doesn't it? Well, we know Christine's happy. Anything exciting happening in your week?
Got Grace and Johnny married, they're down in California, on the honeymoon, and they got woken up by the earthquake yesterday. And then I had some fabulous ladies over last night and Jillian made them pizza.
Nice. Well, seeing pictures of what.
I have 1,200 on my phone.
Wow.
I didn't take them, no, there's somebody that was paid to take them.
Nice.
Happy to be here. First week of kindergarten down for River, and I will say you're about to have one more kid on the bus because pickup line is a disaster. I know it will.
Yes, it is. More than happy to take her.
Yeah, yeah.
We are working on trying to even out the amount of kids on buses, primarily secondary schools.
You know what? I stay overcrowded.
Them buses are heavy.
Yeah. Oh, it's high up in the air.
Statistics show that it's safer for children to go to school, to and from school on a school bus than it is in a family car.
Yeah.
They're higher, built like tanks.
The bigger loads.
Drivers have.
More respect for them.
Well, not necessarily. Anyway, all right.
Paul, I am super happy because this week I'm a Trail Life Troop Master. Troop 3, 4, 5, 6 meets at Lake Country Baptist Church, who is so kind. Our church does have the building. And we just kicked off our 3rd year. And most troops, if they're still around in 3 years, have 30 to 40 boys, and we have over 70 registered now.
Nice.
And it was so big that it hit me. I'm like, we have to run security. Because we have this many kids, so 68 boys plus the American Heritage Girls, which is gonna be like another 15. And then all the adults, because we're not a drop-off program. So now we have, last night was our first night. Security went well, boys had fun, nobody got hurt, and there was fire. So that's good.
Good, yeah, great program.
Happy it's Friday. I'm looking forward to looking at this weekend. Hopefully it'll be sunny.
Yeah.
I was happy that my friend Abby got to overlap with it last weekend. For the first time, she was the first Rotarian probably to come to the house. It was great. Since we moved in, and I bought a chair.
Really?
She was like that chair, like we did. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's fun, run off road. I'll take it. Like, load
Wait a
it in your
minute,
car.
did we all get an invitation?
I'll
We
take
didn't
it.
know about it.
Do we all need to pick furniture we like?
I can say that. Happy 5. I cannot express my gratitude for all those who have stepped in and helped with the caution, who have given their input. We have such a great crew, and so I'm really excited to come together. I'm really happy with Friday, and I feel so blessed for listeners. It's a great place. I love the Friday.
There's some football here, the Lake Stevens High School Vikings are playing Bellevue today. It's gonna be the game of the week on King 5. So be very crowded up there tonight.
If I, as I am now Rotarian.
Vice President.
Well, I am going to, be super focused on going to kid games. Because it's my last weekend in town before I get south, so I got, 2 games at Funko Steve. 2 grandkids are in different select baseball or softball teams.
Nice.
But I'm looking forward to that. It's close to home, they both live at where they live in Issaquah, so.
Oh,
So even closer for you.
Yeah, and then I've got a couple soccer games and all that kind of stuff, so that's gonna be good.
You said you're traveling, but you're not going to Italy or Switzerland?
I'm hopping in the car all by myself. I'll be full of stuff. I'm sparing Eve 4 days of driving, because we're gonna take her car down to Arizona. Yeah, since we're moving into a house, then we're taking the tons of stuff out of the house, so. But I'm gonna go down, get this. I decided if I'm gonna put all these miles, I'm gonna enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I heard the Bell selling some furniture. All right, Mr. Gary, are you happy?
Yes, I am. Many of you know about Alex, my Down syndrome 12-year-old. He's stubborn as hell.
Like, grandpa?
Yeah, no, not even close. His dad has been out of work for 5 months and finally got a job over on the east side of the state as an electrician. And so he's staying at his folks over there. And Alex, the first Monday that he was gone, refused to go to school. And he did, and the next day he had to have intervention on by his grandpa and grandma and an aunt from over there to get him to go. So then I talked to him last Sunday and said, okay, you go to school, here's the deal. On Thursday, I will drive the Thunderbird to pick you up after school and take you to Dick's Drive-In, which is his favorite. And we did that, and then after that, we went up to one of the parks. Now, he has never wanted to do anything at the parks. This time, he went down in the slide, and they had a great big thing, rope deal that you crawl up on, and he's crawling up on it, and then there's a bunch of hills, he's running up and down the hills, and I thought, what the hell happened to him? So it was great night.
All that pent up energy from not going to school.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy today is Friday, and I'm so happy to see all these wonderful people. Anyhow, everybody have a wonderful weekend.
We will. Steve? Yeah. Why are you happy today?
Go Dogs. And I turned in one of my papers for War College, so I have 3 more classes to go. Graduate, I think that.
Or you'll be a four-star or something?
No. A Fulbright Colonel would be nice, but I gotta complete the course and get through some wickets.
Gotcha.
And done with the primary, we certified it, so we're moving on to the general, hopefully nothing crazy happens. There you go.
I'm happy it's Friday, but I'd be happier if I was packing and go to Italy.
Really?
You got room in your suitcase there?
Yeah, I wanna go.
Guys? Yeah.
I'm happy to ask for a new member, welcome, and fun doing the special at the Christmas. And then in 3 weeks from yesterday, which is hard to believe, actually leave on the friendship exchange for the district to Hungary. So I don't know if you're ready for that, but it comes on there, the others to get ready. Yeah, I'll be ready by the time it's out.
Well, we'll be looking forward to hearing all about it.
Yeah, and then, I'd love to do I'm gonna take the $500 sponsorship for our, we've done that in the past, and I'd love to do that as well, so.
Oh, nice.
A lot, but it's what we can afford.
So put your name in the pot then.
There you go.
Thank you.
For that. All right, yeah, like I said, we're getting all those kids to school, are trying our best and, bringing out a bunch of new drivers. What we need now is some more buses, which are coming.
So you're actually doing okay in drivers now?
Knock on wood, yes. All right. Yeah, we have a fairly large group that are almost done with their training, so.
How much does a new bus cost?
180,000 upwards of.
Yeah.
Things
What
like
a house used to.
They're all these.
That's what a house, yeah, right, much less what my first house was.
Yeah, so, we're getting there.
Anyway,
Lori?
So, I'm happy, just generally happy. Nothing special going on.
I'm still happy she's got the light on the cell phone. I know, I saw that. Well, that's for our speakers.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Raquel, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I don't know how this is supposed to go, because I've never seen like a meet and greet, so I'm just gonna wing it. Which is,
Hopefully your sponsor briefed you on
no, it's Jim. I actually saw him the other day because he actually brought me some crab as well, which was so nice. And normally a half a crab is all I can eat, but I sat there and I had it like all over me, and I ate a whole crab. But never had. Anyways, but for those of you who don't know me, everybody pretty much does. I'm Raquel. I was born and raised in Spokane. My maiden name is Joan. My family actually are cute little country bumpkins. My parents both moved to the big city of Spokane when I was 2. And my dad worked for the government. He actually, it's cute. My dad is such a patriot. But both my parents lived in farms, moved to the big city. My dad was drafted to go to Vietnam and was there for 2 years active duty and came home after that, met my mom, had me, moved to Spokane. But my dad, who did over 30 years in the military, actually, I think it was last year, finally received his Purple Heart. He actually was injured when he was in Vietnam and paperwork didn't go to the right channels and he kind of kept working at it over the years. And one day, a friend of mine who ended up working in the State Department in Washington, D.C., kind of told him about it one day. He kind of looked into it and my dad received in the mail one day a Purple Heart in the
Just
mail.
out of blue, gee.
It was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was really cool. But it was 50 years after he was injured, it came in the mail. So that is one of the coolest things I think that probably ever happened, you know, for our family recently. I have a brother. I have one brother. So there's 2 siblings for me and my brother. I'd like to say he's my older brother, but I'm actually 2 years older. No, I'm kidding. So I'm the only one who lives over here. Everybody in my entire family lives over in Eastern Washington. I transferred from Nordstrom back, you know, I started in the early 90s, worked through the Spokane Nordstrom for 18 years and transferred to Seattle, started working the downtown Seattle store. And for a kid from Spokane, like that was huge. You know, I was working downtown. I thought that I was like the coolest, you know, like, because of course, that's the biggest city in the world to you at that time, or to me. Started working downtown, and I met Jeff Pegram. And so ended up getting married and moving further and further north. We first, you know, moved to Everett and had our first baby, Alex, who's now a senior this year at Lake Stevens High School. And then we went to Marysville, and then we came back to Lake Stevens, just almost in 4 years now. And I just love Lake Stevens. Like, I wish we had moved here a long time ago. Being from Spokane, it's a big, small town. You know, you think, I used to think that when I traveled, I would get on a plane and I would look around, there's gotta be somebody I know, you know, and then it dawns on you that Spokane's actually a little bit bigger than I thought it was. Like, I would look around and go, I don't know any of these people. How do I not know these people? So anyways, Lake Stevens feels small. It has that small town feeling. And I feel like, you know, it's a small world. So Kendra and I found out the other day that we are actually second cousins. So my dad and her dad are first cousins. So her grandmother, or her grandfather and my grandmother were brothers and sisters. So it's just a small world, you know, the more you talk, the more you're out in the world with people, the more you find connectivity. And going back to like my personal family. So I have Alex, who's 18, and Mason's 15. He's actually on the spectrum. So we've had some challenges just with him, getting him to where he needs to be. And he's and Alex are great. Jeff, who you guys have probably, most of you have met, just retired recently from the Everett Fire Department. He did almost 30 years as a firefighter, and he retired with the last 12 years of his career were as a fire captain. So that was really, that's kind of his claim to fame. Mine is just people. I loved working in retail. I finally decided that I wanted to have my own business. I figured I knew how to do it. And so anyways, I just did it anyway. I jumped, and I own a bakery and a coffee shop, and we do events and things like that. I actually was going to tell Eileen that another item we could put in the auction is birthday parties at the creamery coast. Because we rent out the creamery all the time for events, birthday parties, things like that. It would be a fun auction item, whatever. But yeah, so, this is my fun claim to fame, but just recently, 2 days ago, yeah, it aired on HGTV for, unsellable houses. So the creamery was on there. So the girls, came and, you know, filmed a episode of their show last year. And I kind of, you forget, you know, like things happen and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. We are supposed to be on TV, and let's see if it really materializes. Like sometimes, you know, you think fun, good things like that are going to happen. And they happen. But it happened. And the other day, the phone rang at 8 o'clock and my mom was saying, oh my gosh, you're on TV, like on real TV. And you're not being booked for something. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, I turned on HGTV and lo and behold, there I am. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like you see like the top of my head, because of course I'm digging a pastry cake. And I'm like, well, if my claim to fame and my 15 minutes of fame is the top of my head, HGTV, like there it is. But anyways, that's a part of my story. You know, there's more to it. I'm kind of a lot.
I love that about you.
No, not yet. I mean, it was just a couple days ago. I'm not a social media phenom like I wish I were. I just turned 52 last week. So I feel like sometimes I feel like technology is not my best friend. And so that's something I wish that I could be better at, is like, how do I promote my business in a way that gets it out there to people? Because they don't know what they don't know, right? They don't know where to find you if they don't know you exist. So, and the location in which I'm at in Marysville isn't prime. But considering that, we're going into our 10th year. So we survived COVID and we're still plugging along. So,
And I would say, she has the best keto cream, cheese, jalapeno breakfast thingy that is amazing.
so part of my big thing has always been, you know, equity. A lot of people have eating, you know, issues with their diet, you know, whether they can have dairy, they can have sugar, they can't have this, they can't have that. And it seems more prevalent now these days. So when we first started our bakery, it was just the bakery that I wanted that I couldn't find other places. I wanted my grandma's baking. I wanted homemade baking. I didn't want, you know, pre-packaged Seattle best, you know, muffin tops that were like, how long have these been frozen? So I kept looking and I finally thought, I'm never gonna find what I'm looking for unless I do it myself. And so we started our own bakery in our shop, and it's literally, and people would be surprised to see what we produce out of a small little area in the back of our shop. My dream would be to have another location here in Lake Stevens, and do a bigger kitchen and start doing more and more, because I know we're capable of it. We just don't have to. So, but anyways, back on the just making sure everybody feels included. The keto, the gluten-free, the sugar-free. We actually now do a little bit of everything. And so we do, so everybody can feel included. Even with our frozen yogurt, we do dairy-free, sugar-free, you know. So the kiddos that come in and say, I can't have gluten, and all the other kids are sitting there eating and they can't, you know, it broke my heart. So I was like, there's got to be a way for us to include something for everyone. So we definitely try to do that. One other thing about the creamery that's kind of fun for me is that we've always, and I know Christina's done this too, but we've always had special needs kids that have worked for us throughout the 10 years that we've been open. I've mentored, job coached, you know, done all sorts of fun stuff for kids of, you know, all different levels of capabilities. But right now we actually have 3, which is kind of a lot for us, because sometimes, you know, we go from 1 to, you know, maybe 2, but now we have 3 at the moment, which is kind of fun. And it's great for my employees because it just gives them one more skill, because I always think of my space as like a jumping off point. I always tell the kids that work for me, this isn't your end job. This is where you start. This is where you learn how to be on time, how to be respectful, how to do your job, how to do, you know, the things that you're going to need to do later in life. And hopefully I don't have to fire you because you don't do it. Because that always breaks my heart. You know, there's always the kids that are, you know, on their phone nonstop, and it's like, please participate in this. Is the rules of the world, right? You're not going to get to go to Boeing, or you're not, well, maybe Boeing, but you're not going to get to go to other places and do your own thing, right? Do your job. Anyway, that's my spiel. Any questions?
Why did you join Rotary?
I joined Rotary because I absolutely love people. I love helping. I love, you know, doing something that is kind and generous. And I felt like, and it's interesting because being in Marysville, I'm still there as my business, but they petitioned hard to have me on their Rotary and in the chamber and all the things, and it just never felt right. And I moved to Lake Stevens, and all of a sudden it was like, it just clicked, and I was like, this is actually, these are my people. Not to say that the Marysville people are not my people, but this is where I felt like this was my home. Like, this is where I needed to be.
Glad to have you.
Anyone else?
Who brought you to the club?
Jimmy, Mr. Hagan. So Jim Hagan and I are neighbors. And so I had the pleasure of seeing Jim without a shirt a lot. Mowing his lawn and doing fun things, and he's just the greatest guy ever. And so, yeah, I think one of the first times I met Jim when we moved in, he came over, and we have a little field, but a grassy area between our 2 houses. And he wanders over, and I'm pressure washing a teak kind of thing for outside. And he goes, Kristen sent me over here because we're concerned that you have ADHD. I said, I'm pretty sure I do. And so Kristen wants you to know that you're making her look bad because you never stop working. And she's sitting, and he's telling me this, and I go, that about your wife. I said, she's an amazing lawyer. She's done a lot of things in her life. He goes, but all she does is read and drink wine. And she earns it. She totally earns that. And he goes, well, she wants you to go in the house. So anyway, Jim was really good. Yeah. But yeah. Gary, sorry, I took your 8 more minutes.
Yes, I have a script.
I didn't.
Okay.
I always do scripts. One of the things that we had talked about, like I said earlier, was when we do classification talks, try and get a number of different folks, not just those that are new, but some that have been around. And I wish you could have heard, even though Lauren went a long time, I wish you could have been here when he gave his talk. It was intriguing about the things that he's been involved in. I was born in Rapid City, South Dakota, moved after 2 years, thank goodness, to Seattle, grew up 2 blocks from Green Lake, spent most of my time in the water of Green Lake during the summertime. Educated in parochial schools, what the St. John's in the Greenwood district. You know, those nuns really have the longest rulers in the world, and my knuckles show it. I was the second graduating class from Blanchette High School, which is now Bishop Blanchette, but the 58, the group of 58, 59, 60, and 61, we refused to call it Bishop Blanchette. During my working years at International Paper, I went for a joint bachelor and master's degree in public administration from Lewis and Clark College. So one of the things you would do is when you got on an airplane to go to California or Washington DC, you carry one briefcase would be schoolwork. And one briefcase would be the work you're supposed to be doing. At the end of this month, I will be married, 63 years to Bev. 3 children, 5 grandchildren, 4 of them are granddaughters, and then the 5th is little Alex that's 12 years old. And is a wonderful kid, very challenging, but just the love of our lives and fun to be around. Interests are golf, photography. You all know I collect fountain pens. Love old cars, walking and being involved. 3 careers. I started in motion pictures. I actually theater management when I was not in management at that time. At 8 years old, there was the Aurora Theater, and a lot of you probably don't even know about it, but there was Aurora Theater on 77th and Aurora. We lived on just off of 77th, and the manager was right across the street. So she came over one day and said, how would you like every Saturday to come up and clean up after the kids' show? Okay, what do I get? She said, 3 movies, and for you, when you come in, all the snacks and stuff that you want, popcorn, candy, Cokes, whatever. So I did that for about 4 years. And then during high school, I started as a doorman, 3rd assistant manager at the Egyptian Theater in the U District, which is no longer there. Then I was assistant manager at the Paramount and 5th Avenue Theaters in downtown Seattle. Psycho played at the Paramount when I was there. It was 5 weeks. That theater is seated over 2,900 people. And in each day, you would have one line going all the way around the block of people that purchase tickets. And you'd have one line going all the way around the block of people waiting to purchase tickets. I got 3 tickets that year, or that period, because I would run home, and we had to wear tuxedos in those days. So I'd run home, change. I had 2 tux, so I'd change from one to the other, and then come back. The same cop got me 3 times. Finally, he's in line one time to see the movie. I had never told him about anything. And I come walking out, and he looks, I heard him say, oh my God, and his wife says, what's the matter? He said, I gave that guy 3 tickets. And she says, you did what? He could have probably got us into the theater. I actually did get him into the theater. Don't know what happened to the tickets, don't care. I managed theaters in Eugene, Oregon, Aberdeen, and Hoquiam, and the historic Everett Theater in the late 60s, and then Oakland and then Fresno. Second career, went into Chamber of Commerce Management in Eugene, Oregon, and then Sunnyvale, California, and then I got my own chamber as the executive in Longview, Washington. And I was there 3 years. An international paper had a Longview Lumber Company subsidiary in Longview, and they were looking for a public affairs manager. And I didn't apply. They came to me and asked if I would join them. So I spent 33 years with IT. That was difficult period, the first part of it, because when the Spotted Owl came about, IP ended up selling all of its timberland. They owned 1.5 million acres in both Oregon and Washington, and about 900,000 acres in Northern California, which meant that when they sold all the timberland, they also sold all of the mills. And guess who got to deal with the public? Who got to deal with the governor, the state representatives and senators and congressmen and everything, and the press, and that was me. And when people saw me coming in, followed by some of our management, they knew exactly what was going to happen. And some of them were my very good friends, the most difficult period that you have to do. At first, I reported just to Longview operation. And then I was consumed about 3 years later and was reported to Washington DC. During that 33 plus years, I probably made close to 700-800 trips to Washington DC. I love the city, just never wanted to be there. It was a great time. When we closed the operations in 1986 out here, I moved to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Not the greatest town in the world. It's about 70% black, 30% white. The whites control, the blacks wanted to control. Ironically, I got along with both sides. I did not have was that my bell to quit? I got along with both sides, even what you would call the radical blacks. I had no problem with.
What year?
1986. I was there for 6 years. When I first got there in June of 1986, of course, I was by myself. Bill hadn't moved yet. And our youngest daughter was the only other one who was going to move. So one day I decided to go up to the state capitol and just walk around. I didn't know anybody in Little Rock, any place other than a few people at the mill. And I decided, oh, well, hell, I might as well go up to the governor's office, make an appointment to go see him. Well, the guy that was the governor was Bill Clinton. And I had met Bill Clinton 3 years previously at the National Governors Association meeting in Boise, Idaho. So I said, you know, I didn't give my name, I didn't give my company, I just said, look, I'm new in town, new in the state, I'd just like to come in and meet the governor and tell him who I am and so on and so forth. So she said, well, wait a minute, it's kind of a light day. And I thought, geez, really? Okay. So about 10 minutes later, she says, yeah, come and see you. So I walked into his office and he's got his back to me. He's looking out over the west lawn there and talking, and he gets done and he turns around, looks at me and he says, Gary O'Reilly, International Paper, what the hell are you doing here? And so then I explained to him. I ended up with about a 2-hour meeting with him. And got to know him pretty well. That was an interesting time. Being transferred to Arkansas was extremely interesting because, number one, don't talk about anybody in that state because you don't know if they're related. No matter where they're at in the state, they're all related to one another. When I got transferred, when Clinton was elected president, I was there the night that he was elected. I was across the street from the governor's mansion, and then my daughter and I went down to the opening scene of him giving his address to the public. And there was a whole bunch of actors and actresses, so I got to meet a whole lot of people. And then I moved to Louisiana after that and spent 16 years there, which in both states had lots of great memories, lots of really, really good friends, and enjoyed it immensely. Pine Bluff was not the best in the world, but the golf course was about a 5-iron away from me. And it used to be owned by the company, and they sold it to the employees for $1. So it was a nominal fee to join. But in Louisiana, I spent a lot of time doing a lot of things that I've never done before. I have given testimony before Congress, couple of congressional committees out in the state. Well, I did do one time in Washington D.C. During the Democratic National Convention sometime in the 90s in Los Angeles at the Paramount Studios. I did an interview, a national TV interview with a person I don't remember the name of the interviewer. He was quite popular at the time. And, he got up there and says, look at that. All those sponsors trying to buy the Democratic Party. And I started laughing. He says, what's the matter? I says, you know, I'm of the age that can remember when we watched TV and we watched the news, there was no commercial. It was all commercial free. We had an hour or to a half an hour to an hour of nothing but news. I says, you're all guided by your ratings. So don't get on me about that $25,000 that we gave to the National Democratic Party. And when he got done, he congratulated me. I said, I'll never see the light of day. I got back to my hotel room and I had 10 messages from people saying, you were live on TV. So I thought, holy shit, you gotta be kidding me. That's that one. And I also did a lot of testimony before legislative bodies in Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. I lobbied in a number of states, and so a lot of times you had to testify. Texas was a lot of fun, a lot of great barbecue, obviously. Austin was a wonderful city, very liberal, but they have a great capital there. And I had a lot of fun with a lot of different, two or three different governors that I was involved with, including one named George W. Bush and Rick Perry. Can't remember the name of the Democratic woman that was there. Yeah, and her. She was great to deal with as well. I retired at the end of 2003, and I had two clients that I decided to work with for 4 years on my own. I had the State Architects Association and I had the pulp and paper industry. So I had two great clients. I could have had more, but what? I had retirement money. I had, what? I didn't need all that heavy. So it was a good time. We decided in 2008 to come back to Seattle area. We looked around Seattle, and just one quick note, I went into a house of a friend of mine down in Green Lake that had built the house in 1953 or 4 for like $8,000. And it was about a 2,400 square foot house. I saw that it was for sale. I went inside, and the realtor says, anything I can help you with? I said, nope, no house. So I walked around the house, and the only thing was granite and a few other things, upgrades and stuff like that, much the same. And they said, so what's something? It's a steal at $1.4 million. And there was a bunch of people coming in. I said, let me understand this. A house today that was built in the 1950s for $9,000, now worth $1.4 million. All those people turned around and walked out. The best thing that happened for Bev and I was to move to Lake Stevens. Bev was looking for a house that was a master on the main floor. We're in a condo off Soper Hill Road in a development. We live about around the block from Auntie Amelia over here, and it's a townhouse style, a little over 1,700 square feet. That's on the main floor. Bev is happy. She watches TV downstairs. I'm happy. I watch TV upstairs. And most of you know I've been involved in a number of organizations, and it's been just a wonderful experience being in Lake Stevens and a lot of good rewards. So probably got a little bit more involved than I thought I would be. Many of you know I'm now president of Sherwood Community Services, and that's been an interesting month and a half since joining. Found out I had a lot of things I needed to do. Greater Lake Stevens Chamber, I'm the vice chairman. Probably will be the chairman in December. We've got some things we're going through. And then on the Lake Stevens Community food bank, working with Anthony, who's absolutely the right person, the right time, and the best person that the food bank system can have, as far as I'm concerned. Even though I call him a few names once in a while, but she knows we're not repeating. And I did a couple of things, with the police and fire service on oral exams for new and, entry level that will always be very much in my heart because it was a lot of fun. That's it.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything? Great or good?
We got three guys doing,
Yeah.
no, East, you're. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
I'm having you.